Hi, we are on third tutorial of the automation series. Uh, in this tutorial, we will try to create a Java project and try to run our code which was exported by Selenium IDE from Firefox that we have done in the previous tutorial. So let's start with launching Eclipse. So I will delete everything. Now we need to create a Java project. I will go to file, new Java project. If you can't see Java project here, you can use this other option, and from here you can select Java project. Type here second what? Let's look at the document. Example 1. Okay, example 1. If you can't see the pop-up, I will just move it here. So there is a finish button at the end. You probably might not be able to see it, but I'm just going to click it. It's here, finish. Okay, so it's completed. Now I will copy this second test that we have exported in previous tutorial, and I will click here on the source folder and paste here. Now it's in the source folder. So we can see that here few errors are marked by a red underline, and here as well it's unable to identify these WebDriver and before and everything. For that we need, in order to resolve this dependency, we need to include a jar file, Java jar file, so that these dependency can be resolved and our code or system understand what actually is WebDriver, what is this test, and etc. So we will again go to the Selenium website, download, scroll down, and here is Selenium standalone server. Click on this link. It will download this Selenium server standalone 3.3.1.jar. So I have already downloaded it. I will just include that file. So let's go back to the project. Right click on our project file. Select build path and then select configure build path. Here's a new pop-up. So if whatever tab is select, we will select the libraries tag. Here click on add external jars, and this is the file I have downloaded. So now it's added to the class path. It will take some time and it will refresh. Okay, all the errors gone except one error. So if we hover on it, it will create a package. Just click on it and you will notice that this file is moved to this package. So, and I can see a few extra code. I'll just remove it. I will remove this code, and so this is the minimum code required to run the script. Okay, I have explained the previous tutorial that every test case in JUnit start with before. So whatever is written before will be executed before executing any test. So here is one test, and after will be executed after the completion of this test, either it's fail or successful or whatever the condition is. So before is for initializing things and after is for cleanup. So in initializing, we are creating the object for Firefox and we are defining the time like 30 seconds to wait if the URL is loading, so it will wait for 30 seconds. So here is our scenario I have already explained, and then here is we want to quit the driver. It basically closes the Firefox. So now we run it. Okay, so test case is failed. Let me show you here. So what test case was executed, second test, and the second test failed. And here is the error. The path to driver executable must be set by the web driver, this key code driver system dot property. So in order to fix this, we need to download another utility as well. So we have resolved this dependency, we have resolved this problem, we have downloaded this. Okay, so when we ran code, there was a problem. So we have to again go to the website. Okay, we are already here, and then we need to scroll down to third-party drivers, bindings and plugins. We'll scroll down, and here are the third-party drivers, bindings and plugin. Just click on this link. Okay, so scroll down, and here we can see there are two zip files. Depending on your operating system, if it's 32-bit, then you should download this file. If it's 64-bit, you can download this file. So I have already downloaded this 64-bit, so I don't need it. Sorry. So once you have downloaded 32 or 64-bit, whatever the choice is, extract the content of the downloaded file, then make sure it contains this driver.exe file. Now we have to go back to our Java code in Eclipse and add this line. In the setup method, the setup method, first line, this is the path where I have extracted this exe file. Okay, so it just tell where to find this driver.exe file, Geeko or something. So now save it and try to rerun. Mozilla is launched, Firefox, it's type username, password, and done. Our test case is successful. Here it shows that one of one is run and there was 0 errors and 0 failures. Because we haven't defined any condition here, so by default it is a success. If it is not failing or if there is no error, then it is a success. We have confirmed the result. So a few scenarios are possible, like we can create a scenario for success message. We know that if we provide uh, correct credential, it will show username and password, and authentication error will be displayed if wrong credentials are entered. Then we can make a scenario if username is missing or password is missing or both values are missing. So let's implement first test scenario. Manually enter correct values, so we'll go back to our site, local.host, then automate. We enter admin, click on the login button, click on this success, inspect element. So here it is, the success. Okay, element, it's the HTML, it's a simple page. So I will right click it and copy CSS selector. We have already seen the method. How can we buy a CSS selector? So here is the selector. In a document, it will look for a body element, and in body element directly the first child would be h1. So here is the body, this is the first element h1, direct child of body element. So this statement says that h1 must be direct child of the body, and if there are multiple child element, then we can specify which one we want or we are interested in. So we have specified one, so this is one, and we'll enclose this selector with finding the element. It will find an element for us, and then we'll say get text. Okay, so it will return us the value. We'll save or get that value in a mm, in this variable. Now we will apply a session. Okay, so this h1 tag value is retrieved and stored in this value variable. It's of string type. So assert dot assert true. This is the framework, the JUnit framework, which will apply some condition. So here we can enter a error message in case if it's not equal. So we were expecting success, and the actual value is this value we have received. Here this value will be used here, and here we can show an error message. We have already okay, so we can enter, we have pretty much done. Okay, so this is my error message, and I think we have included the wrong it would be junit.org. Oh, okay, so let's remove it and hover on this assert and select org.junit. Okay, why it is still error? Nope. Let's copy the statement. uh, JUnit assert. Okay, that's fine. Assert equals sorry. Okay, assert true was expecting a condition, but here I was using the wrong parameter. So in this specific implementation of assert equal, it first requires an error message if you want to show any error. This is the value we are expecting, and this is the actual value. We just retrieve this value from executing this statement. Okay, so let's execute it, and as usual it will be successful. It's launching the Firefox browser. So enter the website admin successful. So it was very quick, and the test case was successful as it has received expected value. But let me put here SS and try to rerun it. Again it will launch the Firefox IDE, then types our address as per the code, and there was an exception. So here an exception is thrown. If I cannot scroll, so yes, so one test was executed, failure, one test case failed. Error is something syntax or something, and failures are caused by our assertion or our condition. So here is our error message that we have provided. In case of problem, error is equal to unexpected value received. uh, it was expecting success but received authentication error. If we can look at here, this is the message, this is the expected value, and this is the actual value. Okay, so our test is failed. Let's reset it and back to admin test success login, and let's make a failure case as well. What was the name of the method? Check invalid credential. So I will rename This same scenario here, I will use wrong password, or I can type anything. Again, in this case, the expected value is not success. In this case, we are expecting authentication error. Okay. Again, here this line will actually retrieve the text from the browser and store in the value, and then this value will be compared with this string. If it is equal, test is successful. So in testing, you not only check or test the success scenario, you also check the negative scenarios or invalid cases as well. So an application must respond properly in case of success and must respond with error if the wrong credentials are used. That's how you can check in. So there could be lot more scenarios based on your requirement. Let's run the test. Okay, so you can see here second test is our class name. Here is the first test is checking for invalid credential. As I have told you in tutorial 1 that the sequence is not guaranteed. It can run in any sequence. Okay, and voila. All tests are passed. So it also specifies the time spent in each test. So this was completed in 12.732 seconds and this one in 10 seconds. 22 seconds in total for both tests. Yes, this can be optimized by reusing the browser. But as I have explained, the philosophy of JUnit is that every test must execute independently and autonomously. So that's pretty much about testing. Thank you very much.